Dear friends, welcome back to English Story World Slow English Learning Videos. In today's short and interesting video, you will improve your English vocabulary, reading, writing, spelling, and listening skills in a very simple and easy way. This video is made in slow and clear English so that you can understand every word easily. You can listen carefully or even play it during your sleeping time to improve your listening skills naturally. If you want to listen faster, you can increase the playback speed in the video settings. Before we begin, don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to English Story World for more helpful English learning videos. So, are you ready? Let's begin today's lesson. The power of never giving up. A long motivational story. In a small town surrounded by hills and narrow roads, there lived a boy named Ravi. Ravi came from a very poor family. His father worked as a construction worker. Every day he carried heavy bricks and cement under the hot sun. His mother worked as a cleaner in several houses. Their house was small and old. The walls had cracks, and during rainy days water sometimes entered the house. Life was not easy for them. But Ravi had a big dream. He wanted to become a successful person and give his parents a better life. Every morning Ravi woke up early. Before going to school, he helped his mother bring water from a faraway well. Sometimes he also helped his father carry tools. After finishing the work, he walked to school. The school was almost 5 kilometers away from his house. Many children went to school by bicycle, but Ravi walked every day. Sometimes the road was very hot. Sometimes it rained heavily. But Ravi never missed school. He believed that education was the only way to change his life. In school Ravi was not the smartest student at first. Sometimes he did not understand the lessons. But he had one special quality. He never gave up. If he did not understand something, he asked the teacher again. If the teacher was busy, he tried to learn from books. If the book was difficult, he read it again and again. At night his house had no electricity. So Ravi studied under a small oil lamp. The light was weak, but his determination was strong. While other children slept peacefully, Ravi continued studying. Many people in the village laughed at him. They said, "Why do you study so much? Poor people cannot become successful." Those words hurt him. But instead of stopping, Ravi studied harder. He believed one simple thing. Hard work always wins. Years passed. Ravi slowly became one of the best students in his school. His teachers were very proud of him. One day his school announced an important exam. The exam would decide which students could get a scholarship for college. Ravi knew this was a big opportunity. But he also knew the exam would be very difficult. So he started preparing every day. He woke up at 4 in the morning. He studied before school. He studied after school. He studied late at night. Sometimes he felt very tired. Sometimes he felt scared. But he remembered his parents. He remembered their struggles. And that gave him strength. Finally, the day of the exam arrived. Ravi walked into the exam hall with a calm mind. He answered every question carefully. After finishing the exam, he prayed silently. Weeks passed. One afternoon the school announced the results. Students gathered around the notice board. Ravi slowly walked forward. His heart was beating fast. Then he saw his name. He had passed the exam. Not only that, he had scored one of the highest marks. He received a full scholarship. That moment changed his life. His parents cried with happiness. For the first time, Ravi felt that his dream was becoming real. College life was very different. Many students came from rich families. They had expensive clothes, laptops, and comfortable lives. Ravi still struggled. Sometimes he worked part-time jobs in the evening. He worked in a small restaurant washing dishes. He also worked in a bookstore on weekends. The work was hard, but Ravi never complained. He knew why he was working. He knew where he wanted to go. In college he learned many new things. He improved his communication skills. He learned about technology, business, and leadership. He also learned an important lesson. Success is not only about intelligence. Success is about discipline and persistence. Years passed again. Ravi completed his education with excellent results. Soon after graduation, he got a job in a large company. The salary was more money than his father had ever earned in many months. Slowly Ravi's life began to change. He repaired the old house. He bought new furniture for his parents. He made sure his younger sister could study in a good school.
But Ravi never forgot his past. He never forgot the struggles that made him strong. So he decided to help others. He started a small program in his village. The program helped poor children get books and study materials. Every weekend Ravi visited the village school. He spoke to the children and encouraged them. One day a young boy asked him a question. "Sir, how did you become successful?" Ravi smiled. Then he gave a simple answer. "I failed many times. I struggled many times. But I never stopped trying." He continued speaking. Life will test you. People may doubt you. Problems will come again and again. But if you continue moving forward, success will come one day. The children listened carefully. Ravi's story inspired them. The boy who once studied under a small oil lamp had become a light for others. His life proved a powerful truth. No matter where you come from, no matter how difficult your life is, if you believe in yourself and work hard every day, you can change your destiny. And that is the power of never giving up.
The boy who refused to give up. A motivational story. Simple English. In a small village surrounded by green fields and dusty roads, there lived a poor boy named Arjun. Arjun lived with his parents and his little sister in a small mud house. The roof was old and sometimes rainwater came inside the house. His father worked as a daily laborer. Every morning he left home early to find work. Some days he got work. Some days he came home with empty hands. His mother worked in other people's houses. She cleaned floors, washed clothes, and cooked food for them. Life was not easy for the family. But Arjun had a big dream. He wanted to become a successful person and help his family live a better life. Every day Arjun walked 5 kilometers to school. Sometimes he had no proper shoes. Sometimes he went to school without breakfast. But he never stopped going to school. He believed that education could change his life. Many children in the village laughed at him. They said, "Why do you study so much? You are poor. You will always be poor." Those words hurt Arjun. But he did not stop studying. Instead, he studied harder. At night the house had no electricity. So Arjun studied under a small oil lamp. The light was weak, but his determination was strong. Sometimes he felt tired. Sometimes he felt sad. But he remembered his mother's words. His mother always told him, "Son, life is difficult now. But if you work hard, one day everything will change." Those words gave him strength. Years passed. Arjun finished school with very good marks. But a new problem came. His family had no money for college. Arjun felt very worried. For a moment he thought about giving up his dream. But then he remembered something. Dreams are not easy. Dreams need courage. So Arjun decided to work and study at the same time. During the day he worked in a small shop. He carried boxes, cleaned the shop, and helped customers. At night he studied. Sometimes he slept only 4 hours. But he continued working hard. Slowly his knowledge grew. Slowly his confidence grew. One day his teacher noticed his dedication. The teacher helped him apply for a scholarship. Arjun prayed with all his heart. After some weeks, good news arrived. He received the scholarship. Now he could study in college. That day his parents cried with happiness. Arjun promised them something. I will never waste this opportunity. College life was not easy. Many students were from rich families. They had laptops, expensive books, and comfortable lives. Arjun still struggled. Sometimes he worked part-time jobs to buy food. Sometimes he walked long distances because he had no money for bus fare. But he never stopped learning. He read books every day. He improved his skills. He believed in one powerful idea. Hard work always wins. Years later Arjun completed his education. After some time he got a good job in a big company. His salary was more money than his father ever earned in many months. Slowly life began to change. First, he repaired the old house. Then he bought new furniture for his parents. He also made sure his sister could study well. But Arjun did something even more important. He returned to his village. He built a small library for children. He wanted every child to have the opportunity to learn. One day a young boy asked him, "Sir, how did you become successful?" Arjun smiled and said something simple. "I was poor, but I never stopped believing in my dream." Then he added, "Life will test you many times. People may laugh at you. Problems will come again and again. But if you continue walking forward, one day success will find you." And that is the truth of life. Success is not about money. Success is about courage. Success is about patience. Success is about never giving up. And the boy from the small mud house proved one powerful thing to the world. No matter how difficult life is, a determined heart can change everything. Star moral of the story: never give up. Hard work changes life. Education is powerful. Believe in your dreams. The Migrant Worker's Journey. Part 1: Struggle, the Beginning. Ravi was a young boy from a small village in Orissa. His family was poor. His father worked as a laborer, and his mother worked in other people's houses. They lived in a small mud house. The roof leaked during rain. The walls had cracks. It was difficult to live there. But Ravi had a dream. He wanted to change his family's life. Every day, he studied after helping his parents. He did not have time to play or relax like other children. He knew that one day he would need to leave the village to help his family. One day, his uncle suggested, "Ravi, you can go to Saudi Arabia. You will get a good job there. You can send money to your family." Ravi was afraid. He had never traveled far from home. He was scared of leaving his parents. But he wanted to help them more than anything. He said yes. The day he left, his mother cried silently, and his father tried to stay strong. Ravi promised himself, "I will work hard. I will make my family proud. I will return successful." In Saudi Arabia, life was hard. It was extremely hot. Work hours were long. He shared a small room with many workers. Sometimes, he had very little food. He missed his family every day. He felt lonely, tired, and scared. But he did not give up. He worked very hard. He sent money home. Over time, he helped his family. He repaired the roof of their house. He paid for his sister's education. He cleared old debts. Ravi learned something important. Hard work, patience, and sacrifice today create a better tomorrow. Part 2: Success, Stability and Responsibility. After several years, Ravi returned to his village. People respected him. He had earned enough money. He opened a small grocery shop in the village. Business was good at first. But after some time, a bigger shop opened nearby. Customers started leaving. Ravi did not panic. He remembered what he had learned in Saudi Arabia: calmness, patience, and solutions. He improved his shop. Clean shelves, fair prices, friendly service, small credit system for poor families. Slowly, people returned. Business became strong again. Ravi did not only think about money. He helped poor families quietly. He provided support without telling anyone. He also opened a small computer training center. Village children learned new skills. Some students later got jobs in cities. Ravi also guided the youth. Work hard, save money, plan your future, never give up. He taught villagers honesty, patience, and discipline. He became a role model. Ravi realized success is not only money. Success is hard work, discipline, and helping others. Part 3: Legacy, Next Generation. Ravi got married to Meera, a kind-hearted woman. They had a son named Arav. Ravi wanted Arav to learn values, not just live in comfort. He told Arav stories about the desert heat in Saudi Arabia, long duty hours, lonely festival nights, fear of failure. He explained, comfort is easy, values are hard, but values will make you strong. Arav began helping in the shop and the computer center. He studied seriously. He learned the importance of discipline and hard work. After completing his higher education, Arav could have moved to a big city. But he chose to return to the village. He wanted to expand his father's work. Arav introduced new ideas, digital payments, online delivery to nearby villages, social media promotion, free weekend classes for poor students. The business grew. More villagers got jobs. The computer center became a proper training institute. Ravi watched proudly. He realized that true success is not only earning money. It is passing knowledge, values, and opportunities to the next generation. One day, Arav gave a speech at a village event. He said, "My hero is not a celebrity. My hero is my father. He fought heat, loneliness, and fear so that I could fight opportunities." Ravi silently smiled. He knew that his struggle had created a legacy. Final moral of the series: hard work today gives success tomorrow. Money can build a house, but values build a future.
True success is helping others and teaching the next generation. Struggle, patience, and responsibility are the keys to greatness.
The courage to try. Ayan was a boy from a small town. He loved machines. From a very young age, he would open old fans, radios, and even his father's broken bicycle to see how they worked. While other children played outside, Ayan was in his small room, tinkering and learning. But life was not easy. His family was poor, and there was no money for a proper school. His parents wanted him to work and help at home. Every day, Ayan struggled between his dreams and the reality of life. One day, a notice came to his village school, a scholarship for young students interested in engineering. The scholarship promised free education in a city school for 1 year. Ayan was excited, but he was also scared. I am not smart enough, he thought. Other children know more than me. That night, Ayan sat under the dim light of a kerosene lamp. He looked at the broken bicycle in the corner. He remembered how he had fixed it last month. He thought about all the small problems he had solved, all the machines he had learned about by himself. I can do this, he whispered. I just have to try. The next morning, he filled out the application form carefully. He wrote about his love for machines, his small experiments, and his dreams to become an engineer. His hands shook, but he submitted it. Weeks passed, and Ayan almost forgot about it. Then one morning, a letter arrived. He had won the scholarship. His parents cried with joy. Ayan felt proud but nervous. The city school was big, and the other children seemed more advanced. At first, it was hard. Ayan struggled with some lessons and felt out of place. But he remembered one thing. He had fixed machines before, learned from mistakes, and never given up. He asked questions, stayed after class for help, and practiced every day. Slowly, he started to understand more and more. Months passed, and by the end of the year, Ayan had not only caught up with his classmate but had also impressed his teachers. They encouraged him to apply for a bigger engineering scholarship to a top city college. Ayan could not believe it. His small steps had led to a big opportunity. Years later, Ayan returned to his village, not as a curious little boy, but as an engineer who built machines to help farmers work faster and easier. He stood in front of the children and told them, "It does not matter where you come from. It does not matter how small you start. If you try, and never give up, your dreams can come true." Ayan's story spread across the village. Children started to experiment, explore, and dream. They learned that courage is not about being fearless. It is about trying, even when you are scared. And Ayan never forgot the little broken bicycle that taught him the first lesson. Every small effort counts, and every small step brings you closer to your dream. When the light learned to shine, life did not change suddenly after Ethan spoke on stage. The applause ended. Students returned to their classes. Teachers went back to their routines. By the next week, the hall was quiet again, as if nothing special had happened. But something inside Ethan had changed. He no longer walked with his head down. He still felt nervous sometimes, still doubted himself, still stayed quiet in groups. But now, that quiet felt different. It was no longer empty. It was full of thoughts, ideas, and words waiting for the right moment. At school, a few students started noticing him. Not everyone. Just enough. One afternoon, a boy from his class stopped him in the hallway. "Hey, that story you told," the boy said awkwardly. It was real. Ethan nodded, unsure what to say. "I felt like that too," the boy added, then quickly walked away. Ethan stood there for a moment, heart beating faster. Someone understood. That evening, Ethan sat under the street light with Lena. The air was cool, and the sky was clear. "You changed," Lena said softly. Ethan smiled. "I didn't change," he replied. "I just stopped hiding." Lena looked proud. But life has a way of testing new confidence. A few weeks later, bad news came. The town planned to rebuild the road. The old houses would stay, but the street corner would change. And the street light? It would be removed. Ethan felt something tighten in his chest when he heard this. That light had seen his loneliness, his silence, his first step forward. Now it was going to disappear. "Everything ends," Lena said gently when he told her. "I know," Ethan replied, "but some things shouldn't end quietly." That night, Ethan couldn't sleep. He opened his notebook. And he wrote again. This time, not just for himself. He wrote about the street, the light, The people who passed by but never stopped. The ones who needed a little glow in the dark. The next day, Ethan did something he had never done before. He shared his writing online. No big announcement. No expectations. Just words. At first, nothing happened. Then one comment appeared. "This feels like me." Then another. "I didn't know someone else felt this way." More followed. Ethan stared at the screen, stunned. His quiet voice was traveling further than he ever had. Days passed. Weeks passed. The street light flickered more often now. The night before it was scheduled to be removed, Ethan and Lena stood beneath it one last time. Cars passed. The light buzzed softly. "Thank you," Ethan whispered. Lena looked at him. "For what?" "For staying," he said. "For noticing." She smiled. "You were always shining. You just didn't know." The next morning, workers came. By afternoon, the street light was gone. The corner felt darker. But something strange happened. People still stopped there. They talked. They waited. They noticed each other. Ethan realized something important. The light didn't disappear. It moved. Months later, Ethan stood on another stage. This time, not shaking. He spoke about quiet people. About unseen strength. About lights that don't ask for attention. The crowd listened. Somewhere in the back, Lena smiled. And inside Ethan, the light stayed on. Not because it was broken, but because it chose to. A family that stayed together. In a small town near a river, there lived a simple family in a blue-colored house. The house was not big, but it was always full of warmth, love, and laughter. The family had 5 members. There was Ramesh, the father. He worked as a clerk in a small office. His salary was not high, but he was honest and hardworking. There was Sita, the mother. She took care of the home and everyone in it. She woke up early every morning, cooked food, cleaned the house, and still found time to smile. They had 2 children. The elder son was Aman, who was 16 years old. The younger daughter was Pooja, who was 10. And lastly, there was grandmother, whom everyone lovingly called Aji. Morning in the house. Every morning started the same way. Aji would wake up first and sit near the window, praying softly. Soon after, Sita would enter the kitchen. The sound of utensils and the smell of tea filled the house. Ramesh would read the newspaper while sipping tea. Aman would rush around, getting late for school. Pooja would sit quietly, tying her hair with her mother's help. Though life was simple, these mornings were full of peace. The father's struggle. Ramesh never complained about his job. But deep inside, he worried. School fees were increasing. House expenses were rising. Sometimes, his salary finished before the month ended. At night, when everyone slept, Ramesh would sit silently, thinking, "What if I fail to give my children a good future? What if I lose my job?" But every morning, he smiled again. A mother's silent strength. Sita understood her husband's worries without him saying a word. She never asked for expensive clothes or jewelry. She managed the home carefully. If there was less money, she cooked simpler food. If something broke, she fixed it instead of buying new. Her strength was quiet, but powerful. Aman's dream. Aman was a bright student. He dreamed of becoming an engineer. He studied hard, but sometimes felt pressure. One day, he saw his father counting money late at night. That moment changed him. From that day, Aman started helping more. He taught younger children in the neighborhood for a small fee. He never told his parents. Pooja's innocence. Pooja was full of questions. Why does Papa work so much? Why doesn't Mom buy new saris? Why do we save money? One day, Sita hugged her and said, "Because love is more important than money." Pooja smiled, not fully understanding, but feeling safe. A sudden problem. One evening, Ramesh came home early. His face was pale. The office he worked in was closing. He had lost his job. The house fell silent. No shouting. No crying. Only quiet fear. That night, the family sat together. Ramesh spoke honestly. Sita listened calmly. Aman held his sister's hand. Aji prayed silently. Standing together. The next morning, Sita said, "We will manage. We always do." Aman said, "I can earn more by teaching." Aji said, "This house has seen harder days." Ramesh felt tears in his eyes. For the first time, he realized something important. He was not alone. New beginnings. Ramesh started looking for work again. Some days were hopeful. Some days were disappointing. Sita started stitching clothes for neighbors. Pooja helped by delivering them. Aman worked harder than ever. The family became closer than before. A small victory. After 3 months, Ramesh finally got a new job. It paid a little less, but it was steady. That night, Sita cooked a special dinner. Pooja danced happily. Aman smiled with relief. Aji said, "Problems come to test families, not to break them." The real wealth. Years passed. Aman became an engineer. Pooja grew into a confident young girl. The family still lived in the same blue house. They were not rich, but they were happy. They had something greater than money. They had each other. Moral of the story: a family is not strong because of money or big houses. A family is strong because of love, trust, and unity. When a family stays together, no problem is too big. Ramadan in Saudi Arabia, a special story. Aman was a 17-year-old boy living in Riyadh. He moved there with his family 2 years ago. Everything in Saudi Arabia felt big and beautiful to him: the wide roads, the tall buildings, and the grand mosques. But the most special time for Aman was the month of Ramadan. When the moon of Ramadan was announced in Saudi Arabia, the whole country changed. Streets were decorated with lights. Mosques were cleaned and prepared. Shops were full of dates, juices, and prayer mats. Aman loved the first night of Ramadan. After Isha prayer, he went with his father to the mosque near their home. The Imam began Taraweeh prayer. The voice of Quran filled the air. The mosque was calm and peaceful. His father whispered, "This is the month when the Holy Quran was first revealed in Makkah to Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. That is why Ramadan is so important." Aman listened carefully. He had learned in school that Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, received the first message from Angel Jibril in the cave of Hira near Makkah. That moment changed history. And it happened in Ramadan. The next weekend, Aman's family planned something special. They traveled to Makkah for Umrah. When Aman first saw the Masjid al-Haram, his heart beat fast. The mosque was huge. Thousands of people were walking around the Kaaba. People from many countries were there: Indonesia, India, Turkey, Egypt, Nigeria, and more. Some were rich, some were poor, but everyone wore simple white clothes. Everyone looked equal. Aman asked his father, "Why does Saudi Arabia feel so different in Ramadan?" His father smiled. "Because this is the land of Islam. Makkah and Medina are here. Millions of Muslims come here every year. In Ramadan, the reward for good deeds is even greater." After Umrah, they traveled to Medina. When Aman entered Al-Masjid and Nabawi, he felt deep peace. He knew that Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was buried there. People were praying quietly. Some were crying softly. Some were reading Quran. That night, Aman broke his fast in the mosque courtyard. Volunteers gave free dates and water to everyone. No one asked who was rich or poor. Everyone shared food. Aman felt something strong in his heart. This is why Ramadan is observed, he thought. To remember Allah. To feel equal. To help others. Back in Riyadh, Ramadan life continued. Work hours were shorter. Schools had special timings. At sunset, the sound of Adhan echoed from every direction. Cars stopped. People opened their fast with dates and water. Even shopping malls changed their schedule. Many shops stayed open late at night. Families went out after Taraweeh prayer. Children played happily. One night, Aman's teacher spoke about Laylat al-Qadr, the night of power. It is believed to be better than 1,000 months. It is one of the last 10 nights of Ramadan. Aman stayed awake that night. He prayed extra prayers. He asked Allah to guide him. He asked for success in his studies. He asked for peace for his family. He felt close to Allah in a way he had never felt before. During Ramadan in Saudi Arabia, charity was everywhere. Some people placed large tables outside mosques for iftar. Workers and travelers could eat freely. Rich families donated money quietly. Aman and his mother prepared food packets and gave them to labor workers near their building. The workers smiled and said, Jazalaka khair. Aman realized that fasting was not only about staying hungry. It was about self-control, kindness, gratitude, patience, helping others. As Ramadan ended, the search for the new moon began. When it was announced, people said, Eid Mubarak. On Eid morning, Aman wore new white clothes. He went for Eid prayer with his father. The mosque was full. People hugged each other and forgave past mistakes. After prayer, Aman looked at the sky and smiled. Ramadan in Saudi Arabia was not just a month. It was a feeling. It was history. It was faith. It was unity. It was the memory of revelation in Makkah. It was the peace of Medina. It was the sound of Quran in the night. It was the kindness of strangers sharing food. And Aman understood something important. Saudi Arabia feels special in Ramadan because it is the land where Islam began. The first Quran verses came there. The Kaaba is there. The Prophet's mosque is there. Ramadan there feels like walking inside history. And that year, Aman promised himself something. No matter where I live in the future, I will keep the spirit of Ramadan alive in my heart. Because Ramadan is not only about a place. It is about becoming a better person. And that lesson stays forever. The Light of Ramadan. It was the month of Ramadan in a small town. The air felt calm and peaceful. The streets were quiet in the early morning, but lights were on inside many houses. Amina, a 16-year-old girl, woke up at 4 a.m. Her mother gently called her for suhoor. She rubbed her eyes and sat at the table. Her father, mother, and younger brother were already there. They ate simple food, rice, eggs, dates, and drank water. Before Fajr prayer, they all made intention to fast. Amina always felt something special at that moment. It was not just about staying hungry. It was about patience, faith, and self-control. After Fajr prayer, Amina rested for a short time and then got ready for school. Fasting in summer was not easy. The days were long and hot. But she reminded herself that Ramadan comes only once a year. At school, some of her friends were also fasting. During lunch break, they sat together in the classroom instead of going to the canteen. They talked softly and shared stories about their goals for Ramadan. Amina had decided to do 3 things this month: pray on time, read the Quran every day, and control her anger. The first week was hard. She felt thirsty in the afternoon. Sometimes she felt tired during class. But every time she thought about drinking water, she remembered that millions of people fast around the world. She felt strong again. One day, her friend Sarah forgot her notebook and started to panic. Usually, Amina would feel annoyed. But she remembered her promise to control her anger. She smiled and shared her notebook. Sarah was thankful. At home, the evenings were beautiful. Before Maghrib, her mother prepared iftar. The smell of soup, samosa, and fresh bread filled the house. Amina helped her mother set the table. When the adhan was heard from the mosque, they broke their fast with dates and water. That first sip of water always felt amazing. It was a small thing, but it brought big happiness. After iftar, they prayed Maghrib together. Later at night, her father went to the mosque for Taraweeh prayer. Sometimes Amina joined the women's section. The mosque looked bright and peaceful. People stood shoulder to shoulder, praying with focus and love. In the second week, Amina's teacher spoke about kindness. She said Ramadan is not only about fasting from food but also from bad words and bad actions. That day, Amina saw a poor old woman sitting near the market. The woman looked tired and hungry. Amina used her saved pocket money to buy some food and gave it to her. The old woman smiled and prayed for her. Amina felt a warm feeling in her heart. She understood that Ramadan teaches people to care for others. As the days passed, Amina completed reading many pages of the Quran. Sometimes she did not understand everything, but she felt peace while reading. Her younger brother found fasting difficult. One afternoon, he said, "I am very hungry. I want to stop." Amina sat beside him and said softly, "Think about why we fast. It helps us become stronger inside." He listened and decided to continue. At iftar, he felt proud of himself. In the last 10 days of Ramadan, the atmosphere changed. Everyone became more serious in prayer. Amina's mother reminded them about Laylat al-Qadr, the night of power. It is better than 1,000 months. Amina prayed deeply during those nights. She asked for forgiveness. She prayed for her family, for sick people, and for peace in the world. She also prayed for her dreams, to become a doctor one day and help poor patients. On the 27th night, the mosque was full. The Imam made a long dua. Many people cried quietly. Amina felt tears in her eyes too. She did not know why, but her heart felt soft and clean. Finally, the moon of Eid was announced. Ramadan was ending. Amina felt happy but also a little sad. She would miss the peaceful nights, the family dinners, and the special feeling of fasting. On Eid morning, she wore new clothes.
The house was full of smiles. They went for Eid prayer and hugged relatives and neighbors. While eating sweet dishes, Amina thought about Ramadan. She realized something important. Ramadan had changed her. She was more patient. She was kinder. She was more thankful. She understood that Ramadan is not only one month. The lessons should stay for the whole year. That night, before sleeping, she whispered, "Thank you, Allah, for this beautiful month." And in her heart, a small light continued to shine, the light of Ramadan.
Why Ramadan is observed. A story. In a small town, there lived a boy named Yusuf. Yusuf was 16 years old. He was kind, curious, and always asked many questions. One evening, as the sky turned orange and the call to prayer echoed from the mosque, Yusuf sat beside his grandfather. Grandfather, he asked softly, why do we observe Ramadan? Why do we fast from morning to evening? His grandfather smiled gently. He loved Yusuf's questions. My child, he said, Ramadan is a very special month for Muslims. It is the month when the Holy Quran was first revealed to Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Yusuf listened carefully. Grandfather continued, more than 1400 years ago, in the city of Makkah, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, used to pray and think in a cave called Hira. One night, during the month of Ramadan, Angel Jibril came to him with the first message from Allah. That message later became part of the Holy Quran. Yusuf's eyes widened. So Ramadan is about the Quran? Yes, grandfather nodded. Ramadan reminds us of guidance. It reminds us that Allah gave us the Quran to show us the right path. The next morning, Yusuf woke up before sunrise. His mother called him for suhoor. The house was quiet. The air felt peaceful. He ate some dates and drank water. Then he made his intention to fast. At school that day, Yusuf felt hungry by noon. His friends were eating snacks. The smell of food filled the classroom. For a moment, he felt weak. Then he remembered his grandfather's words. Fasting teaches patience, grandfather had said. It helps us understand how poor people feel. When we feel hungry, we remember those who do not have food. Yusuf thought about children who sleep without dinner. He felt thankful for the food in his home. After school, he helped his mother prepare iftar. The table was simple: dates, water, fruits, and rice. When the call to prayer came, the whole family sat together. They broke their fast with dates, just like Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, did. Yusuf felt happy. The hunger was gone, but something else remained: peace. That night, they went to the mosque for Taraweeh prayer. The Imam recited verses from the Quran. The mosque was full. People of all ages stood shoulder to shoulder. Rich and poor, young and old, everyone was equal. After prayer, Yusuf walked home under the bright moon. Grandfather, he said, I think I understand now. Ramadan is not only about not eating. Grandfather smiled. Yes, my child. Ramadan is about becoming better. We do not only stop eating. We stop bad words. We stop lying. We stop fighting. We try to control our anger. Yusuf remembered a time he shouted at his sister. He felt sorry. I will try to be kinder, he said. Grandfather placed his hand on Yusuf's head. That is the real meaning of Ramadan. It cleans the heart. As the days passed, Yusuf learned many lessons. He learned self-control when he felt thirsty. He learned gratitude when he saw food. He learned generosity when he gave charity. He learned forgiveness when someone hurt him. One evening, the Imam spoke about Laylat al-Qadr, the night of power. It is believed to be a night better than 1,000 months. It also comes in Ramadan. Yusuf felt amazed. A single night better than many years? Yes, grandfather said. It is the night when the first verses of the Quran were revealed. We pray more on that night. We ask Allah for forgiveness. Yusuf prayed deeply that night. He asked for guidance. He asked for success. He asked for peace in the world. At the end of the month, the moon was searched again. When the new moon was seen, everyone said, Eid Mubarak. Yusuf felt both happy and a little sad. Happy because Eid had come. Sad because Ramadan was ending. On Eid morning, he wore new clothes and went for prayer. People hugged each other. Smiles were everywhere. Children laughed and played. Yusuf looked at his grandfather and said, Now I know why Ramadan is observed. Tell me, grandfather said. It is observed to remember the Quran. It is observed to learn patience. It is observed to help the poor. It is observed to clean our hearts. It is observed to become closer to Allah. Grandfather's eyes filled with joy. You have understood well. That evening, Yusuf sat alone and thought quietly. Ramadan was not only about hunger. It was about discipline. It was about kindness. It was about gratitude. It was about faith. And most importantly, it was about becoming a better human being. From that year on, Yusuf did not fast only because others did. He fasted because he understood. And every Ramadan, when he woke before sunrise and tasted the first date at iftar, he remembered the story of revelation in Makkah and the message of the Holy Quran. Ramadan became a light in his life. And that light stayed in his heart forever. Ratan Tata. A story of simplicity, struggle, and service. This is not just a success story. This is the story of a man who proved that being kind is greater than being rich. A lonely childhood. Ratan Tata was born in a very rich family. But his childhood was not happy. When he was young, his parents separated. This broke his heart. He was raised by his grandmother. She taught him discipline, values, and kindness. Even though he belonged to a big business family, Ratan Tata felt lonely inside. This loneliness made him humble, learning life the hard way. Ratan Tata studied in India and abroad. He was intelligent, but more than that, he was respectful. He did not grow up with pride. He grew up with questions. What is the use of money if people are unhappy? What is the duty of a business to society? These questions stayed with him forever. Starting from the bottom. When Ratan Tata joined the Tata Group, he did not become a boss. He started working on the shop floor. He cleaned machines. He worked with workers. He got his hands dirty. People laughed at him. He is the owner's son. Why is he acting like a worker? But Ratan Tata believed something simple. To lead people, you must understand their pain. Becoming the chairman. In 1991, Ratan Tata became the chairman of the Tata Group. Many people doubted him. He is too soft. He is not aggressive. He cannot run such a big company. Even inside the company, some senior people did not support him. But Ratan Tata stayed calm. He believed in long-term vision, not short-term profit. Facing criticism and failure. Under his leadership, Tata Group made big decisions. Some decisions failed. The company lost money. Media criticized him. People mocked him. But Ratan Tata never blamed anyone. He said, "Take responsibility, learn, move forward." This attitude made him strong. The dream of a small car. One day, Ratan Tata saw a family riding on a scooter. The father was driving. The mother was sitting behind. A small child was standing in front. It was dangerous. That moment changed him. He thought, why can't India have a safe and affordable car? People laughed again. A cheap car? Impossible. You will fail. But Ratan Tata believed in people before profit. Birth of the Tata Nano. The Tata Nano was created. It was the world's cheapest car. It was not about money. It was about safety and dignity. Even when Nano failed commercially, Ratan Tata said proudly, "We tried to solve a problem. That matters." Taking India global. Under Ratan Tata, Tata Group became global. They acquired big international companies. India's name reached the world. But Ratan Tata stayed simple. He did not change his lifestyle. He did not chase luxury. He chased purpose. A man without ego. Ratan Tata never married. People asked him why. He smiled and stayed silent. He chose service over personal comfort. He lived alone, but worked for millions, helping in silent ways. Ratan Tata donated most of his wealth for education, for healthcare, for disaster relief. He never showed off charity. He believed real help does not need publicity. Respecting workers. During tough times, he refused to fire workers. He believed companies exist to serve people, not to exploit them. This made him respected, not feared. Leadership during crisis. When disasters struck India, Tata Group stood up. They rebuilt homes. They supported families. Ratan Tata personally monitored relief work. He felt the pain of common people. A simple life. Even with all success, Ratan Tata lived simply. No luxury show. No arrogance. No pride. His power came from humility. Lessons from Ratan Tata's life. He taught the world. You can be powerful and kind. You can be rich and humble. You can fail and still be respected. Message to the poor and struggling. Ratan Tata's life teaches. You don't need to be born poor to understand poverty. You need a heart. And you don't need to become rich to help others. You need intention. Final words. Ratan Tata is not just a businessman. He is a moral compass. In a world chasing money, he chased meaning. Success is not measured by wealth. It is measured by how many lives you touch.
Ratan Tata touched millions. Not with money, but with humanity.